Hello, everybody, Legal Summit participants, Legal Creative Summit participants. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this tech track with Paolo Maculotti, who will be talking about very interesting experience today on the live. Thank you, Paolo, for being here with us directly from Oslo, Norway.
Thank you, everybody. I'm glad to be here.
So today we're going to be talking with Paolo about access to technology for young lawyers and young mediators. So it will be our first small introduction about the challenges that we have noticed for young lawyers and young mediators. And then Paolo will be giving us an interview about an experience of a new technological tool that is being under development right now. So to get started, I will pull out the slides and we will be making an introduction of our topic. Oops, so that's the slide that we want to show you. So, democratizing access to technology for young lawyers and mediators to kickstart their career in the digital age. So who we are. Paolo, do you want to introduce yourself?
Of course. So I'm Paolo Maculotti. I'm not that young lawyer anymore, but I am a lawyer and also in-house counsel. So I've been working in both sides of the legal activities. I've been working in almost on internationally level, and I'm here again to talk to you about the experience in the new digitalization of law.
Wonderful. So let's go back to the presentation.
Yes.
And I am Tessa Manuello, and I am an accredited mediator. I am the founder of Legal Creatives, and I am extremely excited to talk to you about the challenge that we have noticed in the legal market, which is the problem that we see today is not just a problem about access to justice, but also access to the legal profession and the tools to practice. What we see in the United States, and those trends are very similar in Quebec, where I am located right now, but also in the rest of Canada and France and many European countries, is that young lawyers unfortunately have an employment challenge to face after they finish their studies. In the United States, it's almost one lawyer out of two who does not find a job at a law firm. And at the same time, we see that we have 8 legal problems out of 10 that are not served by the legal professionals. So there is clearly a disconnect between the legal demand and the legal offer. And the question is, how come does lawyers remain unemployed? And we know technology is coming, and we know that the future might be even more challenging than it is today. So there might be an opportunity to bring technology to young lawyers in order to solve this problem and help them serve those people who are looking desperately for lawyers. This challenge actually seems to be unsolved even after the initial entry on the legal market, as we see that in the United States there's almost 500,000 of lawyers who are what we call in excess, meaning they have their license, they are licensed to practice, but they are not using it. And as we just said, we have 100 million people seeking for legal answers. So how can we make a better connection in order to solve the access to justice problem, but also solve the employment issues? And how can we make technology available in order to help making more meaningful connections between the legal demand and the legal answer? So we think that technology can be made more accessible to new generations, to reduce this employment issue and to reduce the access to justice gap. Technology allows us to save time, it allows us to make money, and it allows to kickstart our careers as entrepreneurs working online. Many other professionals are leveraging the power of technology and the digital world in order to start their career and become entrepreneurs. Why not lawyers? Why not mediators? So this is a project that is being under development in order to build more meaningful connections online using video, making interactions between lawyers and potential clients. And Paolo was actually one of the first lawyers to test this new way of working online using video and interacting with clients. And so we are extremely happy to have Paolo talk about his experience of this platform, LawClick, and mostly to learn about experience as a lawyer and his experience of this new kind of working and interacting with lawyers, with clients, potential clients.
Yes.
So Paolo, do you want to tell us what got your interest into this platform?
Yeah, as I said, I'm a lawyer and also have experience as an in-house counsel. So I actually know how both activities are not that innovative today. There is a big lack of innovation, of new ways of doing the job. And this is why I've always been interested in any kind of new technology, new solution on the market, or any new proposal. And I tried LawClick, and also because I like not only the interest that I have for technology, but also I like to show to the people around me, my colleagues, my clients, that lawyers can be like interested in innovation and curious and sometimes even creative. Because I think that we need to change the vision of people about lawyers, about mediators, that they are, even if they are not that young, but I think that many people are interested to technology that can make a big change in the law activities.
Very interesting. And so do you actually use technology in your job today as a lawyer?
Well, to be honest with you, I use a computer, I have my mouse, I write emails, but this is the whole technologic part of my job. I mean, I have no real active role to play in technology. I'm a passive user. That's all. And that's why I think that I need to know and to find out new ways of doing my job. Whether I work for a law firm or in a company, I think that lawyers, we are still very reluctant to change. And I think it's time to change. This is why today I realize I don't have any added value in the practical day-to-day activity I have.
Oh, I understand. So is this like a desire to use technology, but maybe no solutions in order to incorporate technology in your work as a lawyer?
Absolutely. There is this willingness to do it, but a sort of like lack of ways of doing it.
So you tried this platform called LawClick. Did you have any resistance at the beginning?
Well, to be honest, I was extremely nervous at the beginning because using a platform, it was the first time I couldn't prepare my meeting. I was facing an unknown client, not knowing the topic we were talking about. I didn't know the background of the history of this client, the complexity of the issue. So it was really challenging for me to start from scratch our discussion. And, lawyers and in-house counsel always have this attitude of leading the meeting or the talk about any kind of issue. This time I had to just discover the topic with the client at the same time, and it was really new for me.
I understand. So exactly what happened? I mean, how did it work? Because you are saying that you interacted with someone you never met before. So can you just explain in a few words how did it work?
I mean, I don't want to be too funny, but it was a sort of a live date. I mean, it was like discovering somebody who was connecting to me, explaining the issue he had, and asking me guidance in terms of how to solve the problem, if I was the good lawyer to help this person or not, or if I have anybody to to suggest. And it was really challenging for me because for the first time in years, I was really I really wanted this client to like me, to feel I was a competent person, a reliable professional, and that's why during these 15 minutes, it was a very quick session. I was really careful about the word I was using. I wanted to be easily understandable and to make myself the clearest as possible. Um and this was more than what I usually do. So I discovered myself quite, again, nervous and not very, um, let's say, not very on an easy position compared to the how I do in my normal life, in my daily life.
Okay, I understand. Um, so how did you overcome those challenges?
But actually, I just told myself to act in a very natural way, like the client was doing, because I think that clients do this every day, every time they go to a lawyer. And so actually it came out quite naturally, the relationship with this person. We had the time to talk about the problem he had. I had the time to keep asking if he told me everything, if he had any doubt, any question about any kind of related issue he could think of. And I also tried during these 50 minutes to improve my skills, to ask more questions, to not talk too much, and to be again in a more relaxed way in order not to stress the other person on the other side of the line, actually.
And overall, what was your impression? Because I understand it was a mix of interacting live with a potential client using video, was both kind of exciting but also challenging.
Absolutely. I
So
love. Yes, go ahead.
So I was wondering, how did you overcome those challenges? So you said like you want to improve your skills, maybe communication skills, live communication skills. But what else would you, I mean, overall, what was your impression, say, of this new way of working as a lawyer and of interacting with potential clients?
I think what I really liked was both the both sides of the medal. From one side, it was extremely innovating and exciting, as you said, but at the same time, it was quite destabilizing. I mean, I didn't feel so challenged in many years, and I think that what I learned is that I have to improve the way I express myself on a video, for instance, which is something that we don't do on a daily basis, especially in the legal activities, the legal profession. It's quite rare that you see yourself uh, like directly judged by somebody on your video skills. And at the same time, I find it extremely innovative because we have a direct return of what we are saying, of the way we are expressing ourselves. If you're not clear, if you're not understandable, on the other side, somebody will tell you immediately, I didn't get it, or say it again, which is something that doesn't happen that often in today's life of lawyers. Because even in a conference call, people will only listen to you and rarely interrupt you in order to repeat something or get back to what you were saying. And when I ended this call, what I was thinking is that the future of law actually will be more in front of a camera than on a traditional office. And I think that it's really innovative. I was feeling like I was part of this new way of doing my traditional job, and I really like that.
Wow, that's extremely interesting. So, overall, you think that you're not afraid of using those tools now in order to enhance your practice and your impact in the world. How might you use more technology in your work? Any ideas or comments for our public who is also, I mean, many people who signed up to this live global event are most of them lawyers or working at law firms. Some of them are law students. So what would you imagine for tomorrow's practice?
But if I have a main suggestion, a main idea, I would tell and I will tell all my colleagues and friends that we should start making more video conversation with clients. Less phone calls or WhatsApp or messages. And I think it's really, believe me, I tried this, and showing your face and seeing what is the immediate reaction to what you're saying. It's really a big change actually in the way we work. So this will be the first time, like try to make even just videos or seeing yourself. How do you express yourself? The way you talk on a recorded short registration really give you the idea of how a client could perceive the way you're talking or what you're saying. And the second thing, I think
Yes.
that, another good point is that it's very good that we can share this kind of experiences. I never do, and I will from last week. I will really start telling on the social media or meetings that this was a very interesting experience, and I want to share what I've been doing recently to other people, to my colleagues, so that I think that people needs to understand that somebody is already starting a new way of working actually, and it's possible. Let's do it.
Wow, that's very interesting. Thank you, Paolo, for providing this very insightful user experience from actually an experienced lawyer who was willing to try something different, very much outside of what you must be used to doing.
Totally. Very out of the box. And I'm sure that the young lawyers will be even more capable of having a great result. I mean, because again, my generation, oldest lawyers as well, are not so keen to showcase themselves or be in a direct chat. While I think that young people are much more used to it, so they live it in a more natural way, and I think they will definitely love it.
Well, thank you so much, Paolo. For people who are watching us live right now on YouTube, you know that you can ask Paolo all of the questions that you want, and we will make sure to direct those questions to Paolo either now on the live, but we know that there is a small delay between the real conversation we're having and the live streaming. So if we are not able to direct your questions to Paolo, I'm sure Paolo, I think Paolo, you are already inside the online community
Yeah,
in the Slack group.
yeah.
So maybe you would be able to post a small note in the general channel in this community, so people will be able to identify you and to connect with you if they have more questions to ask or comments.
Okay, no problem.
Wonderful. And before we end this discussion together, is there anything that you want to mention about about technology, the digital new generation? I mean, you've already shared a lot with us today on the live, and I want to thank you for that. But anything else you want to add? A call to actions? Oh, okay. You have an idea.
I have something to say. Actually, every time I go for meetings in my day-to-day activities, I realize how late we are. I mean, if we have to make a call for real action, I would really like all the lawyers in all the countries, in all the activities of the fields of law, that it's time that we move on. We cannot just use internet for search about the low cases and small memos. We just need to get the rich possibilities of the digitalization into our day-to-day life. We cannot exclude law from what is changing on a monthly basis, actually, and we really need to make it happen. So I hope this will be right here, and in the next month something really will happen, actually. I really hope so.
Well, thank you so much, Paolo. And it seems like you're on a good track to make this change too happen in your own practice. And so we
Yeah.
also look forward to seeing the next evolution in your career. And for everyone who has question about this platform that is under development right now, that is being tested, you can reach either Paolo or myself in the online community. So we'll make sure to address your questions or answer your comments.
Great.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Paolo. And
Thank you.
we'll look forward to seeing you in one of the next events, live events, and in the community on Slack.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for your time, Paolo.
Bye.
Bye bye.